Sometime within the next minute or so, somewhere on the planet, another big idea is being born. It might be a new song, a new product, who knows? And who knows how to make this idea grow and introduce it to the world? Let's find out. Welcome to The Next Big Idea with your host, Peter Gantner. The program is sponsored by kulaBrands, dedicated to help with branding, funding, and marketing the next big idea. And if that idea is yours, you want to pay particular attention to the particulars. Peter and his co-hosts and guests will explain just how it's done. If you happen to be an investor or just an interested party, you could benefit from the efforts of kulaBrands. You could become a part of their community of folks who want to help others and make money in the process. If that sparks your curiosity or wets your whistle, sit up and take notice. kulaBrands presents Peter Gantner and his guests on The Next Big Idea to Make Money in the Process. If that sparks your curiosity or wets your whistle, sit up and take notice. kulaBrands presents Peter Gantner and his guests on The Next Big Idea.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Next Big Idea. This is Peter Gantner here, and I have my co-hosts, Deborah Caswell and Cory Moran, and we're going to have a special guest today, Tammy Sunshine. Guys, we're going to have a great show today. We are going to be talking about CBD and a company called HealX. We're going to talk about the products, some of the things that are going on. I know that CBD has been a big the thing in the news, and people are seeing it in stores, and we're hoping that today we can help answer some of the questions about that. One of the great things about it is, of course, we're about ideas. We're about financial independence. HealX does have an affiliate program associated with it, where if you said, hey, I'd like to figure out a way to get into this CBD stuff and make some money off of it, that is available, and we will talk about that today. So, Deb, how are you doing today?
Absolutely fantastic, and so excited to learn more about HealX.
That is awesome. And of course, Cory, how are you today? We'll have to see if we can find him, right?
Peter!
All right.
I'm absolutely fantastic.
Is.
I'm fantastic. I was just trying to find my mute button, and there it is. I am stoked about CBD and what you guys got going on with HealX Nutrition today.
Well, awesome. Well, it's good to have you. And real quick, let's bring Tammy on. Tammy, how are you today?
I am wonderful. It's the only way to be. Happiness is a choice.
Excellent. Excellent. So, Tammy, you are the one on here that knows more about CBD than any of us. Why don't you give everybody a little bit of your background and what has gotten you involved in the health and nutrition area and all that stuff?
Your friend when I was a kid that made you drink your water and come stretch, and always been into nutrition. And then I got into massage therapy and aesthetics and personal training and energy work and herbalism and aromatherapy in my teens and going into my early 20s. I've been doing this most of my life. I have been teaching over the last 13 years for massage therapy and for aesthetics. I predominantly teach their anatomy, physiology, pathology on a year-round basis, and then teach all the modalities in there. And the nutrition and pathology feed into a lot of what we do. So that's kind of some of my actual background being there. But then I've also had a lot of personal experience with CBD, just because I've had injuries and I turned to CBD and tried many different brands of CBD over the years, trying to find relief from my neurological damage and the stiffness that occurred from my back injury.
That is awesome. The big mysteries about there, and I've talked to people still occasionally about, when I mention CBD, they're like, oh no, I don't do drugs, or I don't like, the marijuana, that type of stuff. Can you give us the difference between CBD from a hemp plant and then that the marijuana, that side of things? Can you kind of dispel the myth there of what is there and what is true and what is myth?
Well, absolutely. So CBD is going to come from either marijuana or from the hemp. They both come from the cannabis sativa plant. The biggest classification and the difference was that cannabis plants bred as marijuana have much higher contents of THC, and cannabis plants that are bred for hemp have lower amounts of THC. And across the board, now that we had the Farm Bill passed in 2018, with all 50 states coming on board, anything that has marijuana is still in some states illegal, unless you live in a state where they offer medical marijuana or recreational marijuana. And it is in the process of being completely decriminalized. The CBD itself, whether it's extracted from marijuana or it's extracted from hemp, is still CBD. It's just all about the law and the state that you live in. So in order to get the CBD that you can legally use in all 50 states, it has to come from a hemp plant. Otherwise, you have to have a prescription from a doctor and get it from a medical dispensary, or you would have to buy it at a dispensary in an area that has recreational marijuana.
Now, I can get isolates, right? So there's two different types of CBD out there, right? There's CBD full spectrum, and then there's isolate, correct? Isolate has 0 THC. There's no THC in it. And then the full spectrum has the 0.3%, correct?
If you have a full spectrum, you will get those trace amounts of THC. So someone who is THC sensitive or undergoes drug testing would not want to have a full spectrum. And your full spectrum gives you everything: CBD, the other phytocannabinoids, terpenes, and those trace amounts of THC. There are also some broad spectrums that remove THC, and then there are CBD isolates that is only CBD. So there's a few choices there.
Wow. Wow. And now people are putting CBD in all different types of products, right, nowadays. And can you give us maybe a little bit of what the marketplace looks like today?
Well, the marketplace is, CBD is everywhere now. Not only are we seeing it in its traditional forms like tinctures and capsules and edibles, but it's making its way into skincare and body products and sports patches, and just about for dabbing. So you can find it just about anywhere. And a lot of the things that are on the market are just capitalizing on the fact that CBD is trending, but a lot of products that are formulated to be really good are actually going to give you the benefits of it, especially when we see it going into the skincare realm. Everyone knows and understands about ingesting it and some of the benefits that you get, but topically we have so many benefits for skincare and for pain management. And there's a variety of products that are coming up, whether you have roll-ons or massage lotions or oils or skin serums, skin moisturizers, bath salts, and they're all going to be beneficial, and they're all going to deliver into the skin a little bit in different ways than if you were to ingest them.
Well, in our next segment, I really want to dig into why is CBD so effective for so many people, because I mean, I've been in the nutrition area for a while, selling and marketing nutrition products, and effective as CBD to help so many different people alleviate, some symptoms of different things. Of course, guys, CBD is not a cure for anything. We don't want to mislead anybody that, any of these products are going to cure anything, right? But we're going to get into the next segment into that side of it, is why, I mean, it's from my understanding of it, and I'm not, of course, an expert in the area, but our bodies were like made to have CBD put into them, but we'll get into that into the next segment. Cory, any questions for Tammy real quick? Just your thoughts on it?
Yeah, Tammy, I was wondering, what is the best way to, you talked about all these different types of products from all spectrums. What's the best way to take CBD into my body?
That's really going to depend on the person and how quickly you need relief and what your other parameters relief. You're going to go with something that's going to be sublingual, something like a tincture that drops underneath the tongue. In about 15 minutes, it will get into your bloodstream, or the little sublingual tablets. About 15 to 20 minutes, it gets into your bloodstream. If you need something that's going to time release, capsules and gummies, things like that, they're usually going to be anywhere between 30 minutes and 2 hours. And edibles, they usually take a few hours. So that's the one where people kind of get in trouble, because they just eat a whole lot of stuff thinking, well, I don't feel anything. And then all of a sudden, a few hours later, they're really getting the effects of it. So it really depends on, what's going on with you. Why do you need it? Is it for musculoskeletal relief? Is it for a headache? Is it for stiffness? How often do you need it? And that's going to be a person-to-person assessment when you start taking CBD.
And how do you download all that brain information you just spewed out into my brain directly?
Website. And we do informational and educational lives on our fan page and also on our YouTube. And so we also have people all available for questions.
And Tammy, real quick, can you give them those sites real quick? So on Facebook, how do they find it? On YouTube, what's the channel? Can you give us that real quick?
Yes, so on both of them, they are HealX Nutrition. You can go to Facebook and like and engage in our page, and you can go to YouTube and you can subscribe and turn on those notifications so that you can get notified when we go live with different videos.
HealX Nutrition, HealX nutrition.com, HealX nutrition.com.
And guys, we are coming up on the end of this segment, but do not go away. We have 3 more segments to go. We're going to really dig in here and get into some more information on CBD and the whole trip. So we're going to be right back with you. Here's a little bit from our sponsors.
You're tuned in to Better Living Radio, streaming worldwide across the internet, and you're listening to entrepreneur and thought processor Peter Gantner on The Next Big Idea. Stay tuned. Peter will be right back. You're tuned to the latest concept on radio and on the internet, a gathering of people who use their brains to get a better deal. The day kicks off with none other than the money man, Dan Frischberg. There's The World According to Jackie Simmons, educator and mentor to anyone looking to build or rebuild their business. For the first-time home buyers and for real estate investors, David McLaughlin is more than an exceptional mortgage broker. He's the host of his own show right here called Where to Get the Money. Let's not forget the weekly Dent Market Digest with Harry McLaughlin is more than an exceptional mortgage broker. He's the host of his own show right here called Where to Get the Money. Let's not forget the weekly Dent Market Digest with Harry Dent and his co-host Rodney Johnson, offering a free daily newsletter called Economy and Markets. It's the talk and info you need to live a better life. Hence the name Better Living Radio, anchored in Bradenton, Florida at WWPR and broadcasting 24/7 worldwide. Tell your friends about Better Living Radio. Better Living Radio is on the air, and yes, it's everywhere around the world. Are you wondering, hey, what's the big idea? Well, funny you should ask. Our show is called The Next Big Idea with Peter Gantner. In fact, we're back with more on Better Living Radio.
All right, welcome back from the break, guys. We are here today.
The Next Big Idea with Peter Gantner. In fact, we're back with more on Better Living Radio.
All right, welcome back from the break, guys. We are here today. This is Peter Gantner. I have my co-host, Deborah Caswell and Cory Moran with me, as well as our special guest today, Tammy Funshine. We are talking about HealX Nutrition, an opportunity that's out there and available. Fantastic product. We're going to get a little bit into the entrepreneurial side of things maybe in the final segment, but right now what we are talking about is CBD and why it is such an effective product out there, why so many people are getting some relief from it, and Tammy is our expert on this. So one of the things that I'd love to dig into is I've heard of phenomenal stories of people getting relief from all different types of things from CBD. And Tammy, can you tell us why CBD is such an effective, because guys, there's all kinds of stuff on the marketplace right there. There's people selling stuff for 10 and 20 and, you know, all kinds of different price points and different stuff. There is a difference between low and high quality CBD, and maybe we can cover that in this segment as well. But Tammy, real quick, why is CBD helping so many people?
The reason why is because we have an endocannabinoid system. It's a system in our body that is the main regulator of, particularly with nervous and immune responses, but it also responds and works with all the other systems. It would be like the master regulator of all the other systems in the body. And when we look at today's lifestyle with people, most people are nutritionally deficient. That is what leads to deficiencies in our endocannabinoid system to begin with. And a lot of people have a lot of stress and inflammation in their body. And so inflammation is the cause of, or the main cause of pretty much most all of our diseases that we have today, even if you don't have a disease name attached to it. So when we look at cannabis, because many other plants also have phytocannabinoids, in the cannabis plant, they are starting to research a lot more of the other phytocannabinoids, but particularly CBD and THC are very similar to two of the endogenous cannabinoids, or the cannabinoids that our own body makes, anandamide and 2,8-G. So CBD is a little more like 2,8-G in the way that it works in the body. And so when our body manufactures and functions these, it produces them when they need them. An enzyme is then released when it's no longer needed, and then it tears down the actual endogenous cannabinoid. The problem is most of the receptors in people's body are not working the way they're supposed to, and we're not releasing the amount of endogenous cannabinoids we need to because of nutritional deficiencies, particularly with omega fatty acids. So cannabis is a perfect human health because of the phytocannabinoids, and then it can get right in there, engage and start helping repair our endocannabinoid receptors, stimulate our body to produce our own endogenous cannabinoids, and help them stay in our system a little bit longer before the enzymes tear them down. So this is one of the reasons why people are seeing relief across the boards, because CBD is a great anti-inflammatory, it's a great neuroprotectant, it's a great antioxidant. So when you start decreasing inflammation levels, you also start decreasing symptoms of certain pathologies and injuries, and people are starting to see relief, as well as that mood regulation. So CBD and THC are both mood regulators. The difference is THC is psychoactive, where CBD is not. This is why CBD is very beneficial in helping people who have anxiety, like post PTSD, or have depression situations and they need to calm down.
Wow. So you guys are like, if you're like me, I'm like, I could listen to Tammy all day long. And the great part about it is you can. We got a lot of recordings. Real quick, Cory, what's the website people should visit in order to learn more about HealX and hear more about from Tammy on this subject?
We're building a great channel on our YouTube channel at HealX Nutrition. That's HealX Nutrition. You can also find some great information, batch reports, what makes HealX Nutrition different from a lot of the CBDs out there at HealXNutrition.com.
Excellent, excellent. So let's jump into quality right now, because there are so many different things out on the marketplace right now. It's really hard to tell what directions. And I've had a lot of people that I've talked to that said, "Oh, I tried CBD, paid $39 for it." I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, okay? You're not going to find a quality product in that price point because it's very right now expensive to extract out the CBD, to treat it properly, and to put this together. So can we cover real quick, Tammy, a little bit on the quality issue of the CBD, right? Because it's all over the place. I can go down to my local, quick trip, fast place, and I can get some CBD, convenience stores, and the word I was looking for. I can go to my local convenience store and I can buy some CBD, and it's like $20. But maybe I'm not getting the effectiveness off of that product as I would off of another higher end product like HealX Nutrition. Can you give us a little bit on that?
Yes, there's actually a lot of reasons for that. And when the Farm Bill passed, everyone jumped on that bandwagon and really wanted to get their piece in the market. So unfortunately, there was from the seeds of the cannabis plant, and it is great. It's high content in omega fatty acids and other nutrients. So it's been in the beauty industry and the cooking industry for years. It is also a very great carrier oil in some of your tinctures and some of your topical products for CBD. But CBD is not extracted from the seeds. And so some of the products that are out there are marketing that they have CBD in them, and they actually do not at all. Then when we look at ones that actually do have some CBD in it, there comes into a lot of things into play. The way a product is grown, making sure that it's not sprayed with pesticides. As you mentioned, the processing part of it, distilling and extracting, it is a expensive process. And to also have third-party testing, not in-house testing, does cost more. So those things are going to reflect in a price point when you're looking out there. And reputable companies like HealX are going to have something about your batch information, QR code, and so people can scan it right away. They don't have to take time to log into a website, enter a batch number. They're just taken right there to their COAs. And the one good thing I really like about HealX too is because it goes above the industry standard. And the industry standard says you should have at least 3 COAs from a third-party testing. HealX has 5. Also like that, HealX has a pharmaceutical grade. Pharmaceutical grade versus a food grade tells us that what's really on the label is actually on the label, and there's not going to be any other things added. With food grade, there's a variety of things that can be omitted. Up to 30% things can not be listed up there or just appear under something that says natural flavors or a subheading like that.
And that's great. And so pharmaceutical grade is the quality at which the standards at which it's made at, right? Which it's produced at. It's not meant that it's made not from a pharmaceutical company, but it's the quality, it's the process that's used to, we're saying, a food grade process, correct?
Correct. And also, and I know with HealX Nutrition, the person who formulates it, having products that are actually formulated from seed until shipping for high bioavailability, making sure that the CBD content that's in there actually stays in there and put in a bioavailable form. Now, and then when people get it, they have to work to see what their own absorption rates are in their body. Some people might need 25 milligrams where somebody else needs 50. And that really depends on a person's pathology, inflammation, and their own metabolic rate. But having a product that out the door is going to be somewhere between 90 and 95% bioavailable is huge, because a lot of the products that are out there on the market just are not.
And real quick, every single HealX product has a QR code on it. You can scan that. You're going to see where that product came from. Why is that important to know where that done? And this is going to probably come very close to the end of our segment, but we're going to be back with Tammy and we're going to jump back into it. So Tammy, go ahead and give us the rundown there on the QR codes and how simple and easy those are to use and why are they important?
So they're easy as taking out your phone, scanning it either with your camera or a QR app, takes you directly to the information about your batch, shows all the certificates of analysis. And transparency is really important. That tells you exactly what you're getting. Whereas some products that you buy in a lot of different markets, you have no idea what's really in there. And you have to do a lot of homework to find out batch information. But with this, you're able to have it right then, right there. And if you had any questions, you could always call HealX support with the information that you took from your QR code. You have everything right there, access to you. And company transparency is very important for consumers as far as education and knowing that.
This has been a great segment. We are going to be back shortly, guys, in the next part of this break. I'm actually going to turn it over to Corey. He's going to jump in and work with Tammy to continue to get you guys more information on this. We're also going to, in the final segment, guys, we're going to cover some opportunity stuff, how you can get involved, sell HealX products, make a commission. Because remember, this show is really about big ideas. It's about things that to help improve your life financially. And so we always want to bring you opportunities that you can get involved and be a part of. kulaBrands is excited to be working with HealX as one of its companies that we support and that we've helped bring to the marketplace. We are extremely excited to have you listening to our show and look forward to figuring out a way to help you build lifetime residual.
So are you wondering where the next big idea will come from? Well, you'll hear about it first here at Better Living Radio. This is the show called The Next Big Idea. Maybe you got the next big idea, or maybe you just like to make some money from it. Peter Gantner will explain when we come back on Better Living Radio. Each week in his live video market and economy update offered to his inner circle, Dan Frischberg delivers the in-depth, professional version of his famous Market X-ray report, live and interactive. Now that means you get to ask all the questions you want. And if you can't make the live meeting, you can watch the report on demand. Then email your questions in and Dan will email the answers back or include them in the next live report. Week in and week out, Dan brings you the ideas and specific stock picks from his friends, the people you see on TV and read about in the papers. You'll see what they're buying, how they're hedging, and when they're taking money off the table. At last, you'll get to see how the insiders negotiate the institutional friends, the people you see on TV and read about in the papers. You'll see what they're buying, how they're hedging, and when they're taking money off the table. At last, you'll get to see how the insiders negotiate the institutional macro bonds that billionaires on Wall Street rely on, the ones almost everyone else never even heard of. When you become an Inner Circle member, Dan will share with you his lifetime of experience and guide you to the best teachers, the best stock pickers, the best option strategists. And you'll be invited to exclusive working vacations in beautiful locations for the Inner Circle only, where you'll rub elbows with some of the most famous investors on Wall Street. So, how do you value the lifetime of skill and experience of a top investor on a mission to share it all with you and help you become one of the few winners? If you've been listening to Dan for a few years, he's likely already made you tons of money, or even more important, experience of a top investor on a mission to share it all with you and help you become one of the few winners. If you've been listening to Dan for a few years, he's likely already made you tons of money, or even more important, saved you from losing a fortune. Now, there are limits to the capacity of the online video sessions, but right now, for a limited time, Dan's offering you the position of charter subscriber, get this, for less than the price of a cup of coffee a day. For all the info or to subscribe, just simply click on themoneyman.com. themoneyman.com. Welcome back to Better Living Radio and this amazing idea for a radio show. It's called The Next Big Idea. Rather ironic, wouldn't you say? Hey, if you've got an idea, you might want to talk with host Peter Gantner or one of his guests here at Better Living Radio. Oh, look, here they come now. The Next Big Idea. Rather ironic, wouldn't you say? Hey, if you've got an idea, you might want to talk with host Peter Gantner or one of his guests here at Better Living Radio. Oh, look, here they come now.
Welcome back to The Next Big Idea. This is Peter Gantner, and we have today special guests Tammy Funshine, of course, my co-host Deb, and Cory Moran. So, Cory, I'm going to turn this segment over to you because you are one of the kulaBrands members that's helped out promoting products in the marketplace. You have an extensive understanding of the products that are out there, putting them in retail stores and doing stuff. So, Cory, take it away, buddy.
Awesome, Peter. Thank you. Hey, I want to ask real quick, Tammy, a question that others might be wondering, and then we'll move into the ingestibles, and I'll go through those ingestibles, and I'll pass it over to Tammy. But Tammy, I feel a lot of people wondering out there, with CBD, and do I need to have an ailment? Do I need to have pain? Do I need to have anxiety? Do I need to have some sort of symptom in order to take CBD, or is this something that I should be taking to be proactive, pro-health, somebody that's maybe recreational active or pro-athlete? I myself, I love taking it for that aspect, but I just wanted your insight on that part.
The CBD is great for a preventative medicine, and prevention is always better than trying to cure something or to turn something around. So even if you don't have any ailments, the thing is with inflammation, especially people who have high pain tolerances, a lot of times things go unnoticed for years. So CBD being that powerful anti-inflammatory and bringing that balance at the cellular level, and also being a neuroprotectant, CBD is kind of in your preventative maintenance arsenal.
Beautiful. Awesome. Thank you for that. I'm sure a lot of people wanted to hear that. So I'm going to go through our ingestibles now. And I'm going to turn it over to Tammy for the topicals and the edibles. But let me start with our only two full spectrum products, which Tammy mentioned are the trace amounts of THC, less than 0.3% THC. The first ones are golden, kind of standard as a tincture in the marketplace. We have a 500 milligram and a 1500 milligram bottle of golden. Like Tammy said, if you're testing for urinary analysis, you might want to stay away from the full spectrum, it has the possibility of showing up on.
And Cory, real quick, can you
test.
explain to our listeners what is a tincture, right? Because we know it, we're taking these things, but can you real quick give them an idea of what a tincture is?
Tincture is, you're going to see it's in a dropper bottle, it's a 1 milliliter dropper bottle, and you place it under your tongue. So you typically, you don't want to eat 30 minutes before or 30 minutes after you're placing the tincture on your tongue to get the maximum intake to your body system. So the tincture is, and the golden is a berry flavored tincture. So that's really essentially, a lot of people begun their CBD journey with the tincture. It's easy to take, very simple, right under the tongue. Tastes good. And,
Cory, I know when I first took my first tincture, it was very earthy. Let me just put it that way, right? The golden is not like that, correct? It's got a very nice flavor to it. So there are some tinctures out there that are very much like the plant, right? They have, it's kind of like licking the bottom of an ashtray, I could probably say, right? It's good, correct?
Yeah, it does. It does taste good. It's got a nice berry aftertaste. And the 1500, if you're taking a full dropper's worth, the 1500, you're looking at more chronic ailments, pain that's been there for a while. If you use a full dropper of the golden 1500, you're looking at 50 milligrams of CBD for that full dropper. If you're using the 500 golden, you're looking at about 16.77 milligrams of CBD per full dropper. But the great thing about tinctures too, if you're just starting CBD, you can work your way up to what your sweet spot is per day of milligrams of CBD. So, you're taking a quarter dropper full up to, whatever your body needs. Like Tammy said, everybody's different. So that's a great thing about tincture and dosing with that. The second full spectrum product that we offer is Concise. Each gel cap contains 25 milligrams of CBD. This one is great, absolutely great for what I use it for is sleep, helping me fall asleep, staying asleep at night. Absolutely, hands down, my favorite for that. But yeah, that's our second full spectrum. Those two will cover you for more of the plant. You may or may not have heard the entourage effect, and you're getting more parts of the plant, the terpenes. So studies have shown that there's more beneficial properties to having more of the plant in those products.
So can I ask
The
you
third
a
one,
question, Cory?
yeah.
So I guess it's probably more geared towards Tammy, but you're talking about full spectrum, and Tammy talked about trace amounts of THC in it. So last night my husband had a pain in his leg, and I was on his leg, and his first response to me was, "Oh my goodness, we don't have any Doritos. Can you? I don't think I should use that," as a joke, right? With the THC. So my question to you is, should somebody be concerned about that high that they might that people seem to associate these kinds of products with? Can you talk about that to kind of relax some people in that area, Tammy?
Yes. So in a full spectrum product that has that trace amounts, 3% or less, people are not going to get high. They are not going to get the munchies. That's not something that they can expect from taking a full spectrum internally. Now, if they have to get a drug test, there's the possibility that it will show up on a urinalysis. And if they are sensitive to THC, they may have some possible side effects, meaning they might feel a little nauseous or uneasy. And that's going to be different from every single person. But typically, most people are not having any in there. And then again, if you're doing it topically, they do not have to worry about it showing up on a urinalysis, because it's going to stay right there in the skin or at that muscle level. It's not going to be getting into the bloodstream.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Tammy.
Yeah, thank you, Tammy. The next product is an isolate. This one is great for acute, possibly headaches, pain, mild pain. It's called the Express, and this is a sublingual tablet. So what you do with this one is you place it under your tongue, and you let it dissolve, usually about 30 seconds to a minute, depending on your saliva count. But these have 25 milligrams of CBD in them. And again, they're an isolate, so they contain 0 amounts of THC. Moving over to one of our wildly delicious products called the Yummies. So they contain 0 THC, made organic, natural flavors, vegan friendly. These things are so delicious.
Now hold on, really, Cory, are you going to give them the safe recommendation where you have to have a safe in the house to put the Yummies in? So you take one out, you put it in the safe, you close the door, you lock it up, then ingest, eat your Yummy. Because I got to tell you, once you eat one, you cannot stop eating these things. I've tried a lot of the gummy vitamins, and different types of stuff. But I got to tell you, not a single one I've ever tried is as good as Yummies are when it comes to taste. So, again, sorry to interrupt you there, but I had to hit, you must probably want to have a safe in the house to lock those things up when you open the bottle.
Yeah, no doubt about that, Peter. I was watching a call last night, and I was probably like 5 or 6 deep, and I just realized that it wasn't a snack. It was actually, taking CBD, but those absolutely fantastic. And you see out in the marketplace.
Cory, you just hit on a point there. So I would like to cover this and have Tammy cover this. CBD is a very unique product because you can take more than your body needs, but you can't really take too much of it. Is that correct, Tammy? There's no incidence of somebody taking so much and having negative side effects like so many other medicines or nutritional type things out there.
Correct. Especially when we're speaking about CBD, especially from the hemp plant, you are not going to overdose on it. You're not going to have massive amounts of crazy side effects. Now, someone could overdose on a marijuana plant, but it wouldn't be anything to kill them. It would make them maybe feel uncomfortable. No one has ever died from cannabis consumption, but when we're specifically looking at this,
all of Yummies, and you're still going to be okay.
Correct. You might feel extremely relaxed, but you are going to be okay.
And I have to tell you, I have tried to get through an entire bottle, so I did put it through the test. And I got to tell you, these things are delicious. So, Cory, again, sorry for interrupting you, buddy. I'm going to turn it back over to you to keep going through this. I just thought that was an important
No worries. No, that was a great point and a great question that came up there. So just to round out the ingestibles for our best friends, our furry children, our canine is for dogs, and that contains simply 5 milligrams of cannabidiol with fish oil. Great for their skin, great for their coat. Dogs are loving. They come in a little fish capsule with a twisty tail that comes off. That some dogs like to chomp them in their mouth. Just take them down like my 2 pups. Or you
Buddy,
can
we have come to the end of this segment. Holy mackerel, did we feel when you're having a great time and learning lots of information. We are going to be back in the next segment. We're going to keep on going. Thank you for joining us. Have a great break.
You're tuned in to Better Living Radio, streaming worldwide across the internet. And you're listening to entrepreneur and thought processor Peter Gantner on the next big idea. Stay tuned. Peter will be right back. So you've mastered your craft and you know your product helps people. Now what? Jackie Simmons, host of her own show here at Better Living Radio, wants to know if you'd like to massively increase your sales. Introducing Ultimate Sales Mastery Live, a 3-day program specially designed to show you how to own your worth, claim your value, and make a difference. It's a roll up your sleeves and get it done event. At the end, you'll have a signature talk written and rehearsed, ready to take your show on the road, ready for any chance to speak with an intro. So roll up your sleeves and get it done event. At the end, you'll have a signature talk written and rehearsed, ready to take your show on the road, ready for any chance to speak with an intro so solid you can stand on it. Jackie Simmons is a best-selling author. Now here she is on stage. She teaches online sales courses, and she's hosting boot camps everywhere. This one's in Sarasota, Florida, April 17th. Ultimate Sales Mastery Live. For info and to register, just click on joinusm.com. That's joinusm.com.
Have you written a book and want to get it published? Then call Page Publishing ASAP. We're looking for authors of all types of books. And unlike most publishers, Page Publishing will take the time to review each and every book submitted to us. And we'll give you our feedback. And if we like what we read, we will get your book into bookstores and for sale online at Amazon, the Apple iTunes Store, Barnes & Noble, and other outlets in every book submitted to us. And we'll give you our feedback. And if we like what we read, we will get your book into bookstores and for sale online at Amazon, the Apple iTunes Store, Barnes & Noble, and other outlets. We handle everything. Editing, cover design, copyright protection, printing, publicity, and distribution. So if you've written a novel, children's book, cookbook, inspirational work, poetry, or a biography and want to get it published, call Page Publishing now for your free author submission kit. Your road to fame and fortune could very well start with this simple phone call.
Call now, 800-219-8262, 800-219-8262, 800-219-8262. That's 800-219-8262.
Better Living Radio is on the air, and yes, it's everywhere around the world. Are you wondering, hey, what's the big idea? Oh, funny you should ask. Our show is called Better Living Radio is on the air, and yes, it's everywhere around the world. Are you wondering, hey, what's the big idea? Oh, funny you should ask. Our show is called The Next Big Idea with Peter Gantner. In fact, we're back with more on Better Living Radio.
This is Peter Gantner, and we are back with Tammy Funshine and, of course, my co-hosts, Deb and Cory Moran. So we are here having a great time, guys, learning about CBD. We're going to hear the balance of the line that HealX has, and then we are going to jump into the opportunity of how you can get involved in the CBD space and start earning money off this huge trend that's taking place. I believe the estimates are that in the next few years, CBD will be selling about $22 billion a year in revenue coming in from this category. So, Tammy, why don't you run through the rest of the HealX line?
All right, so in our topical line, they are all vegan, gluten-free, phthalate-free, cruelty-free, and plant-based. So this is very important, making sure that you have no other major endocrine disruptors and things in them. As far as targeted musculoskeletal relief, there are 3 products out there. The Butter Up, which is going to be a nice whipped butter. The True Relief, which is a salve, solid at room temperature, a little bit on your fingers, and when you rub it in, it's going to go a long way. That lasts you probably about 6 to 9 months with that container. And then the Slice of Relief, which is in a small roll-on bottle, also with other essential oils in it. And so it really is going to come to what your preference is of how you want to do your targeted pain relief, whether you like a buttered lotion type thing or whether you like salves or whether you're on the go and you want to roll on. We also have a lip balm called Bazoo Lip Care, so that it's also not drying their lips out like some of the other products that are on the market do. We have Salvation bath salts. You're going to get a couple different benefits from this. Soaking is good for the mind, body, and spirit. But because of the other ingredients that are in there, there's Epsom salts, and then there's also Redmond salts, which are high in mineral content, and some also the added benefits of camphor and menthol. So you're just going to get a nice relax, and you're going to have good relief of musculoskeletal pain from all of those synergistic blends of them combined. And then we also have the HealX Zen Facial Serum, which is going to be good for many different types of skin and skin conditions. And we also are using that and rolling into our new beard oil that is going to be releasing soon. And those are all the ones that are in our topical line. The current edible that we have is the baked cookie. That's 50 milligrams of a CBD. Isolates are completely odorless and tasteless, so you're not going to get that earthy taste like Peter mentioned about tinctures earlier on inside of your cookie when you get it.
That is spectacular. So now let's talk about HealX as an opportunity. I'm going to bring it back to Cory. So Cory, there's actually a way where people can become an affiliate marketer, correct, of HealX and get involved with it on a financial level.
Yes, absolutely. And whether you're looking to, maybe just have a side hustle make a few extra bucks here and there, or you're looking to maybe replace your job that you're currently at, or maybe you're wanting to take it a next step further and become a dream income sort of aspiration and goal, we have that here. And it's because you've heard the quality of the product, or you're going to want to share your experience, and you can become an affiliate with HealX Nutrition. When you go to HealXNutrition.com, you can put in who referred you, if someone had referred you, but it's as easy as signing up and sharing with your friends. Now, the cool thing about HealX Nutrition and becoming an affiliate, it's really literally only $20, and $20 you become an affiliate. There's also a really cool way if you want to get started with HealX and you want to get started a little bit faster with a little bit more of the products bundled up for you. We do offer 4 different starter packs, in which in fact will waive that $20 membership fee at your checkout. So you can start by experiencing the product, sharing with friends, and get going right away. Exciting company to be with. Not only hands down the best support that you can have, actually multiple different ways that you can share HealX with the customers.
Well, one of the things is when you start talking about affiliate marketing, usually you're selling these to people that you know, right? I'm putting on my Facebook page, I'm doing different stuff like that. And I think one of the concerns always is, am I going to be selling a high quality product to my friends and family because they know where I live or they have my phone number? It's not like selling it online and having them go there. But even if you sell it online, there's all kinds of different issues that take place. I think that's one of the things that I love about this line and about the company is that the quality is there, the 5 stages of testing, the QR codes, that I can go in this with confidence and know that when I'm making my affiliate commissions and I'm getting paid for this stuff, that I'm not going to have a lot of problems with quality on that product. Can you touch on that maybe, Deb, real quick, because you've been in the home-based business industry in the past. You've had things kind of go sideways on you and had to know that you're selling a quality product and that if your mother-in-law purchases it or somebody like that, they're going to get value from it.
Yeah, absolutely. What I love about HealX Nutrition is the transparency. So again, with the QR codes on every bottle you have, that you can go look at the batch and see what is in the batch, everything that's in there that you're actually ingesting. I use it myself and I absolutely have phenomenal results. I personally, this is my own testimony, but I personally have degenerative arthritis in my neck and back, and I deal with some tendonitis in my shoulder. So I use quite a bit of the HealX, and I feel great, right? I mean, I still feel where there are issues, but it takes the pain down, way down. So I can feel really good about sharing it with friends and family and people everywhere. Transparency piece. If you go to HealX Nutrition, you'll actually see videos from the manufacturers, from the doctors who are involved from seed to sale, and talking about why they started this business. And it's to help people. That's their main goal, is to take, we've got a lot of people out there dealing with pain, and this opioid crisis is, it's very bad out there. And this particular company was put into place to try to help that situation a little bit, get people to move more towards the natural CBD instead of these opioids out there. So I feel very good about sharing HealX. I'm very proud to be a part of the company.
In full disclosure, guys, we are all involved in HealX. We all use and take these products. We're not promoting something that we do not use ourselves. We are very excited about this. HealX did it is because I was watching the news and looking at different things. I had been using CBD prior to it. I'd used some great ones that I got benefits from, but I had also purchased some that did not give any effect whatsoever. So I was concerned about the quality issues that were out there. And what we wanted to do is come up with a company and a way of putting products out there. So we went and found the best manufacturers. We went out and put together an opportunity attached to it where you could build residual income, build some financial security off of it, but while finding the absolute best products in the marketplace. So when you do go out and share these with people, you can share them with absolute confidence. So guys, we are coming up on the 2-minute mark in this final segment of our show. Any last thoughts, maybe Cory, Tammy, and then we'll go to Deb. But guys, we need to get that done within less than 2 minutes.
Being able to be an affiliate and a sales rep and maximizing my potential in the money bank situation where, I'm not really limited to anything. I'm not pressured to have, the ranks and and all that. What I also do love is, for the first time in my career of affiliate marketing and network marketing, I'm 100% confident in sharing this product with anyone.
Simple, easy, and fast. Tammy, take it away.
I'd have to absolutely say that I agree with everything that Deb and Cory said, because I've been in other home-based business opportunities before. And, especially with this being a kulaBrands supported project, I really feel even more confident with this, because other things that I used to educate on, I provided a lot of value for other people, but I did not reap in any that I did for the company.
And guys, I am so sorry. We are coming up on the end of this hour. You're not going to hear from Deb again on this show, but you will hear from her on tomorrow's show.
I have something so good.
Will be back. She's going to, I promise you, she'll be back. We'll catch her right the first of the show. Maybe we'll have to start her with her thought from yesterday. Guys, we enjoyed having you today. We loved having Tammy on here. Check out HealX Nutrition. We are excited about the future.
Did you ever imagine that these little inventions like radio and the internet, that there was a time when they were considered the next big idea? And yet, here you are today, having just heard a program called The Next Big Idea. Peter Gantner is your host. He's one of the founders of kulaBrands, and they can help you whether you've got an idea of your own or you just want to get in on the ground floor of the next big thing. Peter and his and they can help you whether you've got an idea of your own or you just want to get in on the ground floor of the next big thing. Peter and his co-hosts and guests are here weekdays on Better Living Radio to discuss the ins and outs of creating, manufacturing, branding, and marketing the best of the big ideas. Maybe you've got one, or maybe you want to be involved in one. You're definitely tuned into the right spot. So hear this. You can hear this program weekdays at the same time on Better Living Radio as kulaBrands presents Peter Gantner and the next big idea.
I was 35 when my life and addiction started to spiral out of control. My ex-husband threatened to take our children away from me. I felt hopeless. He called Elite Rehab Placement because I couldn't make the call. I was ashamed. I was given skills to manage my sadness and my anger, and more importantly, he called Elite Rehab Placement because I couldn't make the call. I was ashamed. I was given skills to manage my sadness and my anger, and more importantly, I'm 3.5 years sober. I'm so grateful for all their help, and all it took was making one phone call.
Elite Rehab can help you start to break your addiction problem and get sober in as little as 7 days. And we'll work with your insurance provider to help cover the costs. Plus, we have travel assistance programs to get you here by plane or train. Make this free call right now to learn more. 800-918-1376. 800-918-1376. 800-918-1376. That's 800-918-1376.
A health threat anywhere is a health threat everywhere. I'm Dr. Phil. A new coronavirus outbreak called COVID. A health threat anywhere is a health threat everywhere. I'm Dr. Phil. A new coronavirus outbreak called COVID-19 started in China and is spreading to many countries, including the U.S. It's critical to get the facts about how to protect our friends and loved ones. While CDC is working with states and communities to stop the spread of the virus, health workers and emergency response efforts need our support. The CDC Foundation, a nonprofit organization, is focusing on immediate and critical needs that help protect our communities here at home and those around the world. We can all play a role in stopping this deadly virus. Get updates, learn how to protect your friends and family, and find out how to help. Go to cdcfoundation.org. That's cdcfoundation.org. Together, our impact is greater.
This has been a public service announcement brought to you by the CDC.